The table has been set for the conversation of life. Let's start that first course, shall we?
Yeah, I'm about to take a bite with Billy Matheny, ladies and gentlemen. That's a funny intro. We're leaving that. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, probably the person who spent the most time I know driving a white passenger van. Welcome to the Whizzbang Podcast. I'm your host and friend, Brad Goodall. Thanks for being here, Billy Matheny.
Thanks
What's up,
for
bro?
having me, Brad. How are you?
I'm good. We're hanging out in the kitchen. It's all good. Thank you for doing that intro, by the way. You took a lot of pressure.
The succulents look great, by the way.
Thanks. Some of them are doing better than others. From certain angles, they look really great. And if you go to the other side, they're all burnt up.
Yeah, totally.
You know, we all have our good sides, you know, especially my succulents. What's going on, man? What are you in town for today? You're a Morgantown native.
Correct.
Tried and true, right?
We are doing 9th Street Live in lovely Huntington, West Virginia tomorrow.
Right on.
We're slowly inching our way back into live performances again, as I know you are in the same situation.
Same
starting
boat.
To do some shows.
Same
Things
exact
are happening. Yeah.
The 9th Street Live thing is really well done. It goes on right in downtown Huntington, in case the listeners don't know. And it's really well put together. I did one that felt like super casual and super light energy, but also like a lot of energy. Like there's like a lot more people there than you really think. You kind of like cast your eyes around the whole panorama of the street you're playing on, and there's going to be 600 people there, gross, you know, total, if you had to put it on a piece of paper. So that's like a little bit of a thrill to go from playing no shows to playing a kind of big, you know, outdoor show.
Well, I think everyone's ready to do stuff again. It's nice to be kind of back out among the living.
Yeah. The energy I noticed from playing just the couple shows I have, it's like, it's not a forgiving energy. It's like, we don't care what happens. I'm just happy to see a show. It's like the most low pressure, really. Like, you can just do what you want to do and just be freer on stage, and it just happens that way.
Well, I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, and not to totally kind of go into to post-COVID talk, which is I'm sure you've been having a lot of those conversations, both in podcast form and IRL. But like, I don't know, like I'm feeling a lot more mindful about whatever it is I'm doing these days. Like I was going to the first show that I had back. It was like a month ago, and I got kind of like moved to tears when I looked down and I saw these Arby's crumbs all over my seat. It's like, man, I'm just back in this moment, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, the little things. There was a Twitter post, and it was a picture of like a very typical steps of a movie theater, like those little track lights that go down a step theater, and it was like, can't wait to get back to this moment. I'm like, the moment of looking at a stair?
Everything has a world unto itself now, and I'm only seeing it at this moment.
I know they meant the movies, but it wasn't like a picture of a big screen or like, you know, the dancing concession stand items or anything like that. It was a picture of a track light going down a stair, and people are like, I can't wait to get back to that.
I really like the moment when the salt from the popcorn is on your fingers as you're having your licorice. I can't wait to get back to that moment.
That is the most specific movie theater moment I've ever heard. I don't even eat licorice.
What's the worst movie you've seen in a theater, like the one that you went to go see?
I don't think I've ever walked out on anything. I think I saw a Tomb Raider movie. It was like a sequel. That one was pretty bad. I didn't walk out of it, but I know me and somebody laughed the whole time and made jokes to each other, and we definitely were getting shushed. So that's probably a pretty bad movie if I'm getting shushed for laughing during it.
You need to take this art seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. I was being a harsh critic, I guess. We were kids. What are you going to do, you know? So what's going on with the music thing? Where are you at? I mean, you have more shows booked for the summer, or is it just a 9th Street thing, or what's going on?
No, we've got some stuff happening. A few things on the calendar. The most exciting thing is that we have finished a new record.
Oh, my gosh. Congratulations.
We are very excited about.
Yeah. Where'd you record it?
Well, we did it with Bud Carroll at his new spot up in Point Pleasant. Strange Constellations guitarist, producer Bud Carroll at the helm, and our friend Justin Francis mixed it down in Nashville. He mixed my
record, yeah. Justin's the best.
He truly is, man.
Justin Francis does everybody's records from this area. I don't know what the connection was made, but everyone just goes, you should just get Justin to do it, and Justin gets it. He's gotten like 12 records from just like people who live down the block from me.
Sure. I mean, I think Yeah, I don't entirely know. I think we can actually trace the connection, the West Virginia connection, kind of back to I think Adam Meisterhans and Jordan Hudkins.
Probably
his I guess doorway into all of this. But no, I mean he's really fantastic.
Yeah,
And
I think I'm gonna have
there's
Justin.
a reason why he's doing every record, you know.
Right. Yeah, and he'll do a record like mine that's like super cheap, and I give him what I can. I'm like, please and thank you, like I love you, thank you for working on it. And then like the next day, it's like a Grammy-nominated mix he has to work on, or like a Grammy-nominated artist who sent him a mix that he has to work on.
He's really the center of a Venn diagram between us and the Frozen 2 soundtrack.
Did he mix that?
One song on it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, we're really in a different league here. I mean, he's working with the Pixar people, right? Was Frozen Pixar?
I think so. It
Yeah.
was Disney.
It was Disney.
It was
Okay.
a Disney joint.
Okay. So we're really basically best friends with Bob Iger now, if you think about it.
Well, as someone who was really good with the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game,
Yeah.
I'm totally with you on this.
We
train.
only need 1 degree to Kathleen Kennedy. Actually, we're best friends with George Lucas now, which is really kind of my holy grail friendship. So, you know, because Disney owns, you know how that works.
Well, George, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I haven't returned your texts. Justin, if you're watching this, I think you do a great job mixing and producing music, and
sure
we're very
does.
excited with what you've done to the new album.
Yeah, I want to. That's super exciting, by the way. I want to have Justin on this podcast. Tell me about the record. What were the goals with the new album?
There are a lot of them, really. I think, namely, I guess kind of with each new project, each new album, you just want to kind of improve upon what you've already done.
For sure.
In kind of each way. A way to sort of improve upon it while also kind of moving into a different direction. Like, I'm sort of pretty into this idea of each new thing kind of being like a new room in the house. Like, I'm just trying to build a really big house for people to walk around in over time.
That's a good analogy. Or metaphor, whichever the word is.
Well, I'm pretty into the idea, too, of kind of the idea of like a body of work of something that a listener can kind of check into and check out of, and you know, hopefully there's a lot of it for a person to dig into if they want to do that, and you know, feel free to stay as long as you want when you get there.
Yeah.
And sort of making something that, like, you know, I'm happy that I'm excited about it now, and I hope that I can be equally excited about it in like 30 years.
Yeah.
As opposed to like when you're like looking at photos and you're like, well, you know, everybody had pants like that in the 90s. I can't be held responsible for that, you know, but like hopefully in, you know, 2050, I can say that, yeah, these albums hold up.
Yeah, it's super. There's no way to predict how something's going to age. I think the only way you can predict it is if the ingredients in your project, whatever it is, are ones of like deep merit. If you're using the thing that just came out like 3 months ago on your record, I don't know. You never know how that stuff's going to age. But if you're already using equipment and songwriting techniques and building songs in a way that's already timeless, and you're taken from timeless, it's gonna be timeless, right?
Well, I'm not super interested in like doing pastiche, like in terms of like I mean I think timeless is kind of the goal for it, but I don't really want to do like sort of like throwback vibe either.
And a lot of people have success with that.
Sure,
a lot of people have success with the throwback
well
thing.
I think on a core level, when people when a lot of listeners, like, when you hear something that reminds you of something else, it's sort of a comfort thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, for the record, I think that there are far larger injustices in the world than, say, for example, like a band that kind of sounds a lot like Led Zeppelin, or like a band sort of doing like new Motown or something like that. Like,
right.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's certainly innocuous enough. I think, like you said, like sort of like going with things like, well, this is like a 3-month-old thing. I think we did make a very conscious effort to sort of like not really like bow to a lot of current trends in terms of like,
Sure,
just like sounds and things like that. Like not necessarily taking a lot of super old stuff, but not really a lot of current stuff either. You know, like I often wonder, like I think, especially like as artists get older, there's something to where, you know, like you've got people who were like making albums in like the 60s and 70s, and then like they had like the 80s came along, and like suddenly they were like wandering out in the desert, like
they had no idea how to move forward with it.
Right, like they were like living on locusts and honey and drum machines, you know. And like I have to wonder, like while they were doing it, did they feel like they had finally got it together? Where like it's 1985, they're maybe like 15 years into a career, and they're saying to themselves, like, this is the moment we have all been working toward. Like, if we could redo everything we did in the 70s right now with this huge drum sound, I would totally do it.
They absolutely felt that way.
Yes, they did.
Though as soon as it's the George Lucas thing, we were already talking about George Lucas. Star Wars, the first three are considered so perfect by millions and millions of people. And then when he got that new technology to keep tweaking them, what do you think he did? He re-released them like 4 different times or whatever. They would absolutely, that's just a natural thing, I think. You get the new technology and you just want to use the new fun stuff, the new toy. Who doesn't want to use a new toy?
I think every moment feels like the horizon you've been driving toward your whole life.
Yeah, that's deep. You should tweet that.
Someone give me my phone. I've never seen Star Wars, by the way.
You're not serious.
Okay, I've seen what's the first new one that came out in like 1998? Is that The Phantom Menace?
1998 would have been.
It's got like Jar Jar Binks in it and stuff.
That was The Phantom Menace. That's the only one you saw?
That is the only one.
Of course you got burnt on it. That's not the first one you see. You got to go at least to 4 or 5 first. How do I help you into being a fan?
Well, the thing is, I'm not actively not a fan, and my parents owned a video rental store,
and you never saw
the whole
Star
time
Wars.
I was growing up.
We should have opened the conversation with this.
I mean, we can rewind the tape now if you want.
I can't get on anybody because there's so many classics I haven't seen. But as a video rental kid, you're running around on the blue carpet.
Yes.
Eating popcorn with licorice and the salty fingers and all that. And
well, that was like an eating out thing. We didn't sell the popcorn, but we did have tanning. We had tanning beds.
What is it with the video rental tanning bed combo? I've seen 2 or 3 of these businesses. What a strange comment.
West Virginia side hustle, man. We had poker machines. We had tanning beds.
That's like selling mattresses and ice cream cones. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah. I think we sold bags of microwave popcorn maybe along with the movies maybe.
So what movies did you like in the video store?
Oh man, well I can talk a lot of shop about like things that were coming out on VHS in 1996.
Mm-hmm. Give me some goodies.
Oh gosh, stuff from that time.
That was back when they would have the previews with the classic narration and the bubbly music. I love old trailers and old VHS coming to direct to video. I love the sound of that. It's very comforting.
Totally. Like you see that New Line logo and you're
touchdown.
You're ready for a good time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's my favorite. I miss those.
Yeah, I do too, man. I really do.
Now it's just people are going to be nostalgic for that Netflix at the beginning when Netflix comes on. That's going to be a classic sound one day.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Well, they say that like anything that happens before you're 20
is important for some reason.
Well, anything that happens before you're 20 is just natural, and then anything from 20 to 40 is supposed to be revolutionary. And then everything after you're 40 is supposed to be just completely foreign to you.
Really?
I think that's kind of reductive. I'm not really sure I believe it, but I think there's something to...
Who came up with this theory?
It's completely anecdotal. It's something I heard someone say one time.
Man, I thought you were about to like list a textbook or something.
No, man, I'll believe anything I hear. Clean slate out here. I'm just out here just listening to boneheads across America, man.
That's the Billy Matheny story. Bill, thank you so much for stopping by today. This was a great chat.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
We didn't even get to talk about Steely Dan. You know that?
No, we just did a podcast the other day, and I think it was all Steely Dan. I think I have to close the book on talking shop about Steely Dan this time. I'm glad we talked about stuff on a deeper level today.
Absolutely. One Danimal to another. Thank you for having me.
See you, Bill.